Okay, so I finally split apart this part of the engine, this back half. Front iron, we've got some hot spots there. I might be able to lap that or skim it, skim the whole surface, probably lap, because that's what most people do to get rid of those hot spots. Otherwise there's no ridges out here, which is good, having those hot spots. The iron, again, there's obviously some scoring, but there's no heavy wear marks on there, so the second housing's all right. I have done some reading that you can dodgily like lap this, like a big piece across it, wet and dry. So I don't know, I might not do, you might not touch it, might do it, might send it anyway, because people are like, don't do that, blah blah blah. But then again, this is on a budget. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Simple as that. So I don't know yet. Otherwise, housings are good. This side of housing, again, got some very much hot spots. So probably lap that or skim that face. Not sure yet what I'm going to do about that. Again, this side we've already seen that, but again, this rotor, the second rotor, did spin a bearing, so that's fucked. The shaft though, this side's fine, which we've already seen, but this side got a lot of scoring, but then there's also a crack. Might be able to zoom in on it. Where is that crack? There it is. Right there, there's that crack. So I'm not sure about that. Bit weird, bit interesting, but yeah. So I don't know if the eccentric shaft's going to be usable, so I might need a new eccentric shaft and 2 rotors. If not, if it is usable, polish them up on the lathe and then just get 2 new rotors. But yeah. At least I can start making jigs and fixtures for all this sort of shit, like machining the housings, machining the rotors. Yeah, and start cleaning it all up. Okay, so in a sec, broken down. Turns out this rotor is absolutely fucked. The side corner seals here, and you can see how it's smashed into the side irons. So that rotor's fucked. This one I did B-blast. It did spin a bearing, but I am thinking I'm going to bore that out, press a sleeve in there with liquid nitrogen, then put a new bearing in. If not, if I can't get hold of a 13G bearing, 13G to 13B bearing, bore this out 1mm up on diameter, then put a new bearing in there, oversized bearing. They are not easy to get hold of now, but if not, I'll machine this out, put a sleeve in there, then put a bearing in that. I will try. I found another, so I'll try and save this rotor, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. Again, this is just remind you all, again, a video. I don't know anything about rotary. Well, I do a little bit of research on rotaries. I've never done any machining on rotaries. This is my first time doing stuff on rotaries, which is an experiment. So I'm going to probably be trying some very sketchy stuff that a lot of rotary experts are probably going to be fucking screaming and crying. If you're going to do that, you know where the exit is, just leave. I don't care, don't give a shit. This is just pure entertainment and seeing how budgeted I can rebuild one of these with making reasonable power on ITBs to snap in an MX5 to get it running. That's it, simple as that. But yeah, this rotor's fucked. So I'm probably going to use this as jigs and fixtures to work out how much to machine out the sides, and how to machine out the apex seal slot for the RX-7 ones. Yeah. Housings though, what I was going to do, I was going to use some titanium to do a side exhaust peripheral port. Turns out bits of titanium I've got aren't big enough. Well, I found a nice chunk of stainless steel. Probably shouldn't use stainless steel. I was going to use titanium because it would have been similar-ish to Invar. But fuck it, I'm doing it. Stainless steel will cope with the heat fine. The aluminium will expand quicker than stainless steel. It'll be a nice snug fit. It's going to be flanged as well on this. And I might even put an peripheral intake port in there. We shall see. Only a small one, but we shall see. So anyway, next step, what I'm going to do is take this up, tape it up completely and clean it, because the scoring, from what I've seen, it's a little bit rough. It's actually quite smooth, reasonably. There's no cracks in the chrome, reasonably smooth. So I'm going to reuse these housings because both of them are good. The irons, one's got a tiny hot spot, the other one's got lots of hot spots, so I'm going to have to check that out later. And possibly either skim them or lap them, I don't know yet, but let's get this taped up and cleaned first. Let's get this first one cleaned. So I've B-blasted the housing. Yes, I did protect the chrome from it. and that is oil you're seeing on there, bits of oil. And I've oiled it now. It's not done any damage, but a big blast, it's been cleaned up. Okay, so the house is now completely clean. Time to start making the little dowels that go in here, the 3 corners for this plate. So at some point I need to skim this plate, both sides, so it's nice and flat and parallel, and then take the edges off, mill this side, put the dowel pins in a threaded bolt hole for the centre. But at the moment I've got to make the pins, the 3 pins, so what I'm going to do is get some gauge pins, check, see what sizes they are, make a little sketch up on some paper, and then it'll be a nice little lathe time lapse, making those three pins up. Okay, so that's the first pin done. Now, it should also be, this is going to focus, there we go. Very snug into there, like so. Let's finish off the other 3 too, sorry. Okay, so I've talked to a friend. He suggested another way of machining them without a jig, but without a jig, using the dowels, using parallels to clock up, which I could do. So I'm going to have a think about that. Or I may still probably make a jig though, I don't know yet, but I've got some calculators to calculate the position of these 3 holes at anyway, and for calculating this as well as the radius, so I'm going to pop it up on the CMM in a sec and find out what they are. Otherwise this rotor is good, I'm probably going to use this rotor. The other rotor is fucked. I've cleaned down this housing and I've oiled it. So housing's clean. I may still wet and dry those sides. Otherwise, and again, this is the other rotary housing. It's still in pretty good condition, so I'm going to use these housings. It just needs, again, enough clean down like that one, but the irons are going to need some more work. So there you go, rotor's been measured up. I'm going to literally pop a screenshot up of that now in a sec, so if you want those dimensions. What it seems to be is this radius isn't quite a radius. Obviously it's probably quite obvious, but it's radius here, then it flattens out a bit and then radiuses. But all I wanted it was to get a rough radius or idea for when machining this out here for this edge, so I can get it cut and follow it instead of like doing dabs. But yeah, dimensions from that point to the center, from that point to that point, as well as this radius, and also the outside diameter there. If anyone wants that, that's going to be a screenshot or photo coming up in a sec, so pause it if you want any of that, because yeah, gatekeeping seems to be an issue. I'm going to be excited to start machining this out to try and reuse it. A lot of people aren't going to be happy on that, but or telling me don't bother, fucking sell it, blah blah, get rid of it or chuck it or whatever and get a new rotor. But the thing is rotors seem to be quite costly, about 150 to 300 pounds for a second-hand one. And I've not seen it done. Everyone would just say just get a new rotor, it's a waste of time. But to be honest, I want to make myself a YouTube video, and two, for the fact of why not, I've not seen it done yet and I can do it for free, so I'm going to try it and see. Because for something that could cost 50, 100 quid to reuse a very good rotor that haven't got fucked side seals and stuff and apex seals, it might be a viable option instead of spending 100, 150, 200 pound on a rotor that might be fucked, might not be fucked, or might have a good bearing race, but these apex seals might be, or side seals might be stuck or fucked. So we'll see. That'll hopefully be the next video, but other than that, that one's been cleaned up. I need to clean that one up, which will probably be the next one. I'll also try and make the jig and have a look at those side irons as well. So till next time. I know it's not a massive exciting project, but it's I'm trying to do it at work, and so yeah, hopefully it's comes out a good little fun little video, and till next time, or next part.